When I wake up, oh, I want to be the man that wakes up on epidural. When I wake up, oh, I want to be the man that wakes up with Russian virgins. Not young ones. And I'm playing. I got a wife. So I go into surgery, right? Knocked out cold turkey. I don't feel nothing. I don't wake up during surgery. And then all of a sudden, I start to like come congenient. Conscious. Cognizant.
Okay.
I become cognizant.
You wake up.
I started to wake up.
Become aware.
And every surgery I've ever had since I was 14 years old, I don't wake up good. All right. Even when they realize, waking up flat on his back is what's making him panic and go into like fight mode. I don't wake up good. I just don't. So I always wake up in a really crazy state and very violent. And I don't mean to be, but as I got older,
it's a reaction that some people have when they come out of it.
Yeah. Well, as I got older, I learned to control myself a little better because I've had a lot of, from fighting and training and football and working for the state, different things. I've had a lot of injuries, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. We're going to get through this show. This is rough. Maybe a little too soon to come back, but we're going to make it.
You're a trooper.
Because I love you. I love you guys, and I want to tell you what I'm thinking, and I want to keep us all rolling together. So please.
And we all know that Jonathan has a lot to say, whether he's in pain or not, and he needs you to hear it.
Yes, I do. I do. My kids are like, Dad, why are you sitting us down again in circle group? We don't want your stories. No. I'm dying over here. So the room is like kind of cool, like cool to the temperature. I'm not sweating. I'm not panicking. I don't have feeling. I have zero feeling. Like when the Bible talks about like the peace that passes all understanding, I have been in pain one form or fashion since I was 13 or 14 years old.
I can't even imagine.
Right? As I got into 18, 19 years old and I started having my knee and my tendon surgeries, they're kind of from a little bit of violent stuff that happened to me, or it happened. So you start to get this scar tissue, and you start to get these things on your legs. They just don't go away. And no amount of pain management or anything else takes it away. And you wake up in pain. In the first 5 or 6 steps, you hobble before you can get straight.
Every day?
Every day of my life. I've been in pain every day of my life. All right. And it's at times just very, very, it's hard. It's hard to deal with. But you just do it. You got to go. You're a man. You just get up and do it. So, and actually you feel better once you start moving around. Like you got to get up. In that first 15 minutes is terrible, but once you get past it, it becomes manageable throughout the day. I was out of pain for the first time in my life as an adult, and I had no idea I didn't know what that feeling was. So I'm laying there and I'm like giggling. I can hear these two voices calling my name. Jonathan, wake up. Jonathan, wake up. And it was so soft and so sweet. And as my eyes started like coming together, I looked down at the foot of my bed and there literally are two dirty blonde young girls. Maybe when I say young, like 28, 30, that's young to me. That
is young these days.
I'm not
40 years old. 40 is young.
Yeah, I'm not into 20-year-old, 22-year-olds. I'm not that type of dude. I don't know how 47-year-old men do that, but I'm not judging you, but I am judging you.
Hey, no. It's no judgment. When I woke up from my surgery, I immediately opened my eyes to the most beautiful blonde-haired woman, and I kept telling her how beautiful she was. And it was the nurse. And I think that some people just have that reaction. They're just...
Well, no, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I'm telling you in just a second. I never have understood why 47, 48, 45, 50-year-old men leave their wives and go out and marry a 22, 23, 24-year-old. Especially when they have daughters that age. I just can't, I can't wrap my head. I'm not one of those guys to be like.
It's not.
You know what I mean? Like some guys they love the idea of that younger woman. I don't. To me, it grosses me out because,
You have young women
and
I've
been a cougar hunter since I was 16. So I've never been into younger girls.
Well, and look what you got. I
got the best cougar out of the amount of that thing. I could go. All right, let me stop there before I go into further taxidermy talk. But so anyways, I'm waking up and these two girls are at my bed and they're so nice and they're so sweet. I have no pain. And they're like, Jonathan, they're like, we need to kind of start waking you up. How are you feeling? I was like, I don't feel nothing. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, and I'm okay. So now at this point, very minimum words, they're smiling. I'm either looking retarded or smiling or doing something. And Maybe I'm drooling on myself. I don't know. And I'm thinking, so all this happened fast, right? So stay with me. This is fast. Even though I'm talking slow, this all happened within seconds. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dead. I died. I didn't make it through surgery.
Did you say that out loud to them?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going through this because I've never felt this way before. So it's like, oh, this is what the Bible talks about. Like when you get to heaven, you have a perfect body and a perfect this, and there's no pain, there's no suffering, there's no agony. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm in heaven. And I was like, what? The Abrahams were right? We get virgins? That's what went through my mind. I hope I didn't say it out loud, but that's what's through my mind. And then I'm like, wait a second. We don't get heavens in we don't get virgins in our heaven. We're Christians. We get Jesus. I was like, dadgummit, I didn't make it to heaven. And I was like, I'm alive. I'm still alive. So then they start talking more and more, and one has a crazy Canadian accent, and one has a crazy Russian accent. And they're just the nicest two girls you ever met in your life. So everything's going great. And then I lean over to my right because someone calls my name, and it was like, hey, Jonathan, how you feeling? And
it was fell out of bed.
No, it was Butch Rogers standing over there.
Buck Rogers?
Butch Rogers.
Butch Rogers.
And the dudes know what that means. That's like a girl who's like a butch. We call them Butch Rogers. That's like a girl who's like, she may be into dudes, but you don't know. She's like a butch. Like she's not like a pretty woman. She's a butch woman. She's like
she's matronly.
That's like Kathy Bates.
She's handsome.
No, she's rough. She's Butch Rogers. That's what she is. And I was like, oh God.
It would have been cooler if you had seen Buck Rogers standing next to you.
Or a third blonde. And I'm not even into blondes. All right. but so they start talking and they're like, how do you feel? I say, I don't feel nothing. So they're doing all these tests on me. And they're like, it's normal with the epidural. It takes about 2.5 hours for this to wear off. We just want to make sure you're up and you're breathing and, you get some water in you. And it was the best thing on the planet. So now we start a conversation and we're talking. And then, so check this out. The Canadian just got here, I don't know, a couple years ago. Her husband is an avid elk hunter. All right. And he also hunts pheasants and geese. So we're talking about the difference of meat and eating elk and stuck in freezers with big game. The Russian, came off of a Russian farm somewhere, some Russian maiden. And we're all talking about farm stuff. And Butch Rogers over there, playing third base with us. We're like, can you just stop talking to us? We got a perfect triangle going on.
So rude.
I didn't say it.
I'd have pushed you off that damn bed.
I didn't say it, but everyone was thinking it. Come on, Butch, chill out, man. This is his time. He's waking up. Let the man have his moment.
He thinks he's in heaven.
So it was so cool because I love a good accent. And then listen, guys, I don't cheat on my wife. I don't lust after other women. I guess it was sensual. It was like a weird moment, but it wasn't like I'm sitting there thinking I'm going to run.
You thought you were dead.
Yeah, it wasn't like I'm running away with two nurses, But it was just the coolest wake up ever. I just can't. I don't know who wakes up and I made it. I'm in heaven. I'm alive. But I'm in heaven alive, and I don't have any pain. And I've got a couple blondes with me, and
you felt relief. That's what that was.
I guess it was the ultimate. It was the ultimate wake up of all wake ups.
And he's woken up happy every morning since, right?
No, I'm miserable.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm miserable. We had a little backtrack. So surgery went well. Wake up went phenomenal. The pump they were supposed to put me on immediately. The nurses downstairs didn't get it on me for 5 hours. I actually had to call my doctor, and he went slap off on them.
Good.
He's like, I had this ordered 3 days ago. This was signed off by your charge nurse. And
but he didn't ask for it.
No, they're like, we don't know how to do it. We've never been trained on it. And he's like, you've had him up there for 5 hours, and you couldn't find somebody to hook this pump up. He's like, I want this pump hooked up right now or I'm on the way to the hospital. And within about 5 minutes, they had me hooked to the pump. So I had about a 5 hour window of some roughness. Ooh. But then they knocked me out. They had me on the drip. And it was kind of cool because the doctor prorated it. I didn't know you could do this. The doctor on the floor. She's actually a nurse, but she's over the doctors. I don't know. It's called a
charge nurse.
Is it the charge nurse?
Probably.
But they're over everything. So she comes in and she goes, well, you were supposed to get this much of the morphine for this many hours, blah, blah, blah. You've already missed 5 hours. So, on the thing, they give you a button that every 15 minutes you can hit the button. They prorated mine. No. They changed mine to every 5.
5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes.
Because they want you to use that medicine they can charge you.
No, it was already paid for, no matter if I got it or not. Oh, okay. But the nurse was playing catch up because the doctor's like, you better get him caught up on pain management. He better not lay there for the next 10 hours like last time. So the only way to get you caught up is, one, they can't give you too much that it stops your heart.
Right. That's what I was just thinking.
That's fantastic. Oh, do you need to take that? I mean, we're only doing a radio show. We can stop. We can pause.
It was notification to pick up my kid.
Oh, all right. So,
Sorry.
So anyways, they're like, hey, listen, we can do this way, or we can give it to you now, but we got to check your heart and your blood and all that every half hour. I was like, check me every half hour. I was like, you can't kill me. You cannot kill me. I was like,
they could.
No.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
they
that
can't.
would.
I used to.
No,
I was on a
no.
mission once to clean Columbia out. We'll just leave it at that.
Jeez Louise.
Okay, I took it personal that I was gonna.
But when a doctor it was a morphine drip. What was it, or was it Dilaudid? Whatever it was.
It was either Dilaudid or morphine. It was one of the two in the drip. But
yeah, that's pretty serious.
they say it can slow your breathing, cause you go into asthmatic, blah blah blah, heart failure, blah blah. Blah. But I'm not getting out of pain. I can handle this.
Death.
I can take this. So every 5 minutes, boom, boom,
Get me
boom.
out of pain. I can take death.
They were giving me 6 milligrams. I was able to get 6 milligrams or 6 grams, whatever it's called, an hour through the drip.
Whew.
And then they were still giving me a pill every 4 hours. So they covered that 5 hours, got me caught up within like 2. No, it was fantastic. Everything went well. Tuesday, the doc comes in, and I had some bleeding in the wound. And they said, oh, John, that's because when you woke up with the epidural, that's the only dangerous part about doing knee surgery with the epidurals. You don't realize you're not supposed to move. And you can move your knee too much and kind of open the wound. So apparently when they were taking the tube out of my throat, I choked. Well, when I choked, I had a reaction, and both my legs came up to my chest before the doctor could grab me and put me back on the table. So I bent my knee, full mobility, all the way up to like 123. So, yeah, they said it was no big deal. They kept filling up the pad with blood. They're like, it'll be fine. You're stitched 7 layers deep. You just busted the glue line. You'll be fine. We can send you home. It'll drop in a day. So I come home Tuesday. I do the show with Shannon from my recliner. And then Tuesday night, my leg starts to swell. My calf starts to turn black. My foot starts to swell. And I see this red line coming up on my leg. And I'm watching it grow and grow and grow. And by Wednesday midday, the red line's halfway up my thigh, going up toward my groin. So I called the doctor. He told me what to do. And then he's like, Jonathan, you got to make a decision. The hurricane's coming. They're closing the roads and they're closing ERs. He's like, you're going to get stuck. So right before the storm hit, it was like 5:55. Amy jumps in the 3500 with me, our big old diesel. Haul butt down I-4, get into the hospital. As they're locking the doors, one nurse is like, no, we can't let you in. This isn't life-threatening. And the other guy's like, no, look at his leg. We're letting him in. So he put me in a wheelchair. They take me straight to the back. I don't even stop at the front counter. Amy's parking the truck. So she gets in, and I was like, baby, you got 2 minutes to get back to the kids, or you're stuck with me for 2 days. I was like, go home to the kids. I'll be fine. So Amy hauls butt home. She's driving home. The winds are like 60, 65 miles an hour. But she's in the big truck, so she makes it home. I got to wrap this story up. She makes it home, and they start testing me for blood clots, for different infections, skin infections, wound infections, excessive bleedings, CAT scans, ultrasounds, x-rays. Nobody can agree on what it is. So 8 different antibiotics.
Jeez.
All right. They're treating me for blood clots in both of my arms every day. I'm getting 2 shots in the back of my arm, morning and night. They got me on these different pills. And finally Friday, they're supposed to be sending me home Friday night.
Right.
And then the nurse comes in and goes, I can't send you home yet. The doctor just ordered 2 new antibiotics. And so they gave me those 2. And then about 1:30 in the morning, they wake me up. Then like the doctor just ordered a 3.5-hour antibiotic, but I've got to hook up an assistant pump because the IV won't pump this. It's so thick. It's going to make you sick and nauseous. Just try to sleep through it. So they put me on that. And about 4:45 Saturday morning, it felt like somebody opened the relief valve on my leg. And literally I could feel it just moving through my body. And then my leg started to come down. The swelling went down. The redness went away. And they don't know what they cured because Advent Health gives you a team of doctors. So
and 8 different antibiotics.
So they give you infectious disease, internal medicine, the hospital, the orthopedic oversight team, the orthopedic surgeon. There's like so many people on the case. Well, between all of them, they couldn't come up with an exact what caused that. But they knew something happened. And I did lose 4, not 4 units, but 4 something. I went from a 17 to a 13 on my hemoglobin. So I did lose some blood in the joint. Anyways, so I got home Saturday and trying to get back to somewhat normal. It's just been rough, but I'm not complaining too much because we're going to get through this. When I get back, I went way over.
No, you didn't.
All right, when I get back, the hypocrisy knows no bounds. Guys, you're going to want to hear this because they have been preaching about beef. And we got to get rid of beef, and we got to stop consuming red meat. We got to stop livestock commercial farming. We got to stop this because we're killing the climate. We're killing the climate. We're killing the climate. But yet, the new report. Let's see what it says.